Good afternoon, everybody. Great to have so many people already tuning in to our sixth edition of our CV Labs Accelerator Demo Day. My name is Aguilar Yanis, and I'm the head of acceleration program here at CVVC. And I'll walk you briefly through our agenda. So we'll have a 10-minute program before we get to the pitches, where we kick it off with an introduction about CVVC and CV Labs. Then I'll give you some more insights into our acceleration program, and then we'll come to the most important part of the afternoon, which is, of course, our 8 startup pitches that we lined up. So without further ado, I would like to pass the word to Olaf and Lukas, who will tell you a bit more about our company.
Thank you, Yanis, and welcome also from our side. So maybe we'll start off with just a few numbers on the next slide. We started investing in startups in 2019, started the company a couple of years before, and to date have done 66 investments in total. Our investment focus, for those who are not familiar with us, is blockchain technology and Web3 on the application layer, as well as startups that are service providers to a functional digital asset ecosystem. We invest early through an accelerator program, have run this 6 times. You will see the startups that have completed the current batch in just a minute. And also for those projects that are a little bit further, we invest in seed and pre-A rounds. The 66 investments are quite global. We have startups from over 20 countries. Predominantly, our deal flow is Europe, Americas, and Africa. And how we invest specifically, over to Lukas.
Thank you, Olaf. So we have a 2-pillared investment approach. On one hand is the acceleration. That's also the demo day for today, where we have a standardized deal where startups receive $135K US. It's a 10-week program, starting out 2 weeks on the ground here in Zug, and afterwards it's a hybrid program. The second pillar is direct investments, where we invest in seed to pre-series A rounds, typically 250 to 500K tickets. Both of those pillars, they lead to follow-on investments. So we invest follow-on investments both into the acceleration as well as the direct investments. Generally, we have our USP is what we call an ecosystem approach to venture capital. So on one hand, we have CVVC, which is the investment side of things. On the other hand, we have CV Labs, where we have co-working, where we organize events and conferences, and also do research and insights to industry. Last but not least, we have a third pillar, which is CV Pad. It's our very own token launchpad for early stage Web3 token projects. Overall, this ecosystem approach is what we believe is helping the startups best to succeed and grow in a global environment.
How do we invest? We invest through 2 different funds. One is our global fund, where we're just launching our Vintage 2. With that, you're essentially exposed to, as an investor, you invest in all the startups on a global scale along the strategy. The other one is the same strategy, but focused on the African continent. To date, of the 66 investments, 17 have been in Africa, and the ratio is increasing because we have a local team there on the ground doing deals across the continent, and truly believing in also the positive impact that tech has on the continent. That is how we invest. I think in addition to that, what is important to know, we do put our money where our mouth is, and pro rata co-invest in all the startups, also from our own balance sheet. So not just through a GP commitment, and always at the same and equal terms. With that, over to the program.
Yes, thank you very much, Olaf and Lukas. So a quick rundown of our 10-week program. So as Lukas mentioned, this is our sixth edition, and throughout the last 6 years, we truly evolved. So we started with a fully on-site program, then during COVID times, we migrated to a fully virtual program, and now we are in a hybrid version. So our program consists of 4 pillars. So the first one being the bootcamp, which takes place here in Zug, Switzerland, in the heart of the Crypto Valley, where the founders are invited for 2 weeks to join us for networking sessions, strategic introductions, but already hands-on workshops, because as you know, for early stage products and startups, there is a lot to do, right? And we want to be their support structure and their help. So here you see some highlighted workshops. For instance, we start with their formulating the go-to-market strategy. We introduce them to the local crypto valley ecosystem players. As you might know, there's a lot of big L1s and other service providers represented. And then after these first initial 2 weeks, where we also form a strong alumni network, we migrate into our virtual part. So the virtual part or the remote part consists of 2 blocks. The first one being focused on tech development, product development. As you can see, some highlighted workshops. We work on a technical roadmap. We connect them to our hands-on mentors, which I will mention briefly, but also we help them with legal questions. After this first remote block, we have a midterm review where we check upon deliverables, and then we move into the second block where we have the focus on the go-to-market strategy, PR, marketing, community building, and so forth, but same format in weekly workshops. And then the last pillar of our program is where we are right now. So it's the graduation week, which has as its final highlight the demo day. In this week, we prepare the projects to make them investor ready, because a lot of projects raised their first round with us. So they have a clean data room, they have a clear fundraising goal, and all these things you will see shortly. So before I move to our partners, I just want to quickly mention that today marks the finish or the last day of batch 6. But it marks also the first day for open applications for batch 7. So if you're a startup, if you know startups that are interested in this program, send them our way. We're always happy to look at applications. And a big thank you to our partners. As you saw in the last slide, it's a very complex and diverse program, and it would be impossible to run it ourselves. So big shout out to our partners that support us with workshops, with expertise, with grants, with credits, so everything that our startups can flourish. And as a very last point, also a very big thank you to our 8 amazing mentors who have been very hands-on supporting our projects with weekly office hours throughout the program and help them with their valuable expertise. On that note, over to you, Bastian, and let's get to the exciting part of the afternoon now.
Right, thank you so much, Yanis. Yeah, we get to the main part of today, which is obviously the startup pitches. So for today, we will have 8 projects pitching today, each for 3 minutes. So it's going to be rapid fire pitches, followed by a 2-minute Q&A session, which is led by our jury members that are able to ask 1 or 2 questions. So first we have Tim Draper. I think it doesn't require any further introductions. He's one of the main figures in the venture capital ecosystem. Then we have Dimitri from Archetype. We actually shared the same university professors. That's how we met. And if you want to learn more about verifiable compute, he just published a super article. Then we have Guanta from CBVC. She joined our team recently. Then we have Claude from Greenfield Capital. Claude and CBVC, we know each other for a long time. He's also based here in Switzerland. And then last but not least, we have Marek from Rockaway X, a VC that we like a lot and also meet quite often at the community meetups when we are in Berlin. So this is actually quite important. So if you want to connect with the startups or get connected with the startups, make sure to scan the QR code. We will also paste the link to the type form afterwards in the chat. So this way we can connect you with the teams, but also you will see the agenda of the flow for today. So without further ado, we would go over to the startup pitches. The first one that is pitching today is Provably, formerly known as Krypton CK. They're building CK infrastructure for big data in both Web3 and Web2. Their innovation lies in making complex technology easy to use, unlocking value in private, sensitive data. The founders have over a decade of experience at IBM Research. So, Sham, please go ahead.
Thanks, Bastian. And hi, everyone. I'm Sham, co-founder and CEO of Provably. So 52 degrees is the hottest day I've ever experienced in my life. I was 6 years old in the desert, and my parents' car had broken down during a weekend trip. We were stuck there for 4 hours without any air conditioning. I wished that cars would never break down. 30 years later, I became a chief architect of a major electric vehicle program in Europe. This car was producing a lot of data. We really could make it smart so that it never breaks down. However, this data had to be regularly shipped to Japan. This posed a lot of challenges. I learned that businesses every day want to collaborate over data, algorithms with partners to make smarter medicines, personalization, and more. Collaboration is hard. I need to send around copies of big data. I have to use complex privacy tools to protect all this data. And then there's selecting partners who actually have reliable data. There has to be a better way. At Provably, we believe in collaboration without data sharing. Our module connects to sensitive big data, performing all the computations locally without sending out copies. A partner can send in their queries, and after local computations, they receive insights with cryptographic proofs. The partner can trust that the computations were performed correctly and completely. Provably is a module that you can integrate to any environment. And for the first time, we have a technology that allows collaboration between data, algorithms, and blockchain, all in a common decentralized network. We have many business opportunities. Today, I'll just tell you about two of them. Our first business is providing infrastructure for those looking for ZK solutions. In Web3, that's around DeFi and identity. Privacy-focused rollups, AI, and personalization. And in Web2, we address data ecosystems in fintech, advertising, and healthcare. Clients often struggle with trust issues in B2B relationships, such as proving the number of customers they really have, or the engagement that their platform gets. There are also issues over transparency in billing and royalty calculations. So our second business is a SaaS platform that allows them to create verifiable analytics dashboards. And such a tool can accelerate trust in relationships. In Web3, there's a massive shift underway as projects are migrating to ZK infrastructure because it offers better scaling, privacy, and security. Developers, though, are frustrated with current ZK tools because they're too slow, complex, and impossible to use for big data. So new strategies are needed. Provably meets that developer demand for an easy-to-use and performant ZK big data infrastructure. We're the first to support SQL and big data. And with SQL, we can serve every tech team in the world. Web2 is a $140 billion opportunity and still growing. Web3 is substantial at $20 billion, addressing DeFi and more. My co-founder, Emanuele, and I have known each other for 6 years now. And with the rest of the tech team, we bring a mix of research, industrial, and crypto experience. We raised 600K in pre-seed funding at the start of the year, and we're currently closing an additional 250. We're having some very good client conversations already and are super excited about the momentum that we're building. Our plans are to ship an alpha release to our early clients in the summer and then come into the market for a larger round later in the year. Provably allows you to prove your claims, and the result is seamless collaboration for smarter products. If you'd like to support a pre-seed company with big ambitions, reach out to us. Thanks for listening. Happy to take some questions.
So,
Yep.
so your customer is the developer. You're making it really easy for them to use zero knowledge and create these new platforms for data.
Absolutely. So a developer does not need any knowledge on zero knowledge. They just need to know SQL. And SQL is the #1 language for database and data science. It's like 40% of all developers out there know it. With competitive products, they really need to know all about zero knowledge itself, circuits, and all these complex things. And we take away all that burden. And that's how we can reach such a large addressable market.
And then the outcome for them is it's easier, you can do better development, and the data is both secure and available for everybody to share. Is that the idea?
Absolutely. So the data remains inside their environment, which means it's secure and it's private, but they can also gain utility by sharing it with inside their company or with their external partners. And so we can combine each other's data without actually moving it, gain more insights about our customers, and therefore drive personalization, sales, and growth.
And the data is shared Does that mean that the person who puts the data up is incognito, or
Yeah,
is it?
more or less. So if you take this example here, this data remains here, and what the party on the other side will just know, hey, my business partner over there, let's say it's Honda, they have customer data, they have financial data, and I can learn something about them. So I can learn how many customers that they have in North America, how many of them live in a certain area. So I'm getting aggregate analytics without seeing anything specific about them. And then together we can say, hey, I have 10,000 customers who are similar to yours. Why don't we learn from each other's customers' information and drive personalization to them? And basically, when it's no more enterprises anymore, it's everything's becoming ecosystems. And crypto, of course, showed the way in that. And our goal is to take crypto's goodness to the rest of the market.
All right, perfect. Thank you so much, Sham. I think this is a wonderful conversation.
Sorry, I didn't give anybody else a chance to answer.
No, all good. That's perfectly fine. Good questions. We got to move on to the next company, which is Accelchain. It's a Gen AI-driven no-code DevOps platform for building, testing, and auditing DApps. The founders have 3 exits combined, ranging from multi-million to billion-dollar companies. Please, Ren.
Hi. Can you guys see me? Oh, sorry.
Yeah,
Hi. Hi, my name is Ram Shanmugam, co-founder and CEO of Accelchain. I want to start this discussion by sharing our founding story. About 2 years ago, my co-founder and I were asked to build a Web3 application for a loyalty project. And in spite of having years of experience in launching products that are used by millions of users, we struggled to complete this project on time. As background, I have 20 years of experience in building and launching products as well as successfully exiting a few startups. My co-founder Krishna, who was also my co-founder in my last startup, has over 15 years of experience in building dev tools. Anyway, coming back to this story, we took 6 months longer than we had planned to launch the project. So we looked around, asked our friends if they had better ways to build Web3 applications. And what we realized was, in spite of the growth in Web3 applications, there has been very little effort invested in solving developer challenges. It's a range of problems, including inexperience with smart contract development, time to audit, regulatory compliance, security, etc. There have been attempts to solve this problem, and unfortunately, other approaches haven't met the need, and they've fallen short. There are a few point tools, but none addressing the end-to-end life cycle. This is the problem we chose to solve. Our vision is to offer the Web3 community a frictionless end-to-end experience to launch Web3 products. And how do we do this? We have a no-code platform which enables developers to build and launch their Web3 applications without having to write a single line of code. We also not just help you provide the development environment, we provide a unified solution for designing, testing, deploying standard as well as custom Web3 applications across any chain. How do we specifically do that? We have an AI agent-based architecture that enables developers to design contracts, test and validate, secure and audit, and eventually deploy and maintain their applications. So where are we? We started this journey about a year and a half ago and launched our solution in December 2023 last year. Our primary goal since launch has been to focus on developer adoption and engagement. And I'm pleased to share that in a relatively short period, we have grown at a rapid pace, and we hope to continue the same pace for the rest of this year and next. To enable this adoption, we've also established key partnerships with ecosystem partners like chain providers as well as node infrastructure providers. It is early, but it's beginning to work. We have a robust roadmap with AI underpinnings, and to achieve the next set of milestones in our business, we're looking to raise $750K in our pre-seed round. We're looking for investors who have strong conviction in this space and would like to join us in this journey. With that, I want to thank you for your time and answer any questions.
Why were you 6 months late?
What do you mean 6 months later? Oh, oh yeah. So with our product, a couple of things, right? We were able to build a smart contract, but we could not find partners to do auditing. We could not find tools to do security vulnerability assessment. And even picking the right chain and figuring out how to make all of that work took us a while. And there's really no tools, right? You have to hand code everything.
Yeah. Maybe question from my side, like I think like security is, like large part of the deployment of the smart contract and applications. Like, can you maybe evaluate like what exactly are you bringing in order to make security robust?
So there are two things we're doing. There is the upfront symbolic execution and using LLMs, we detect security vulnerabilities and auto heal the code. So that's one part of it. We're also launching our AI agent-based on-chain agents. And what these on-chain agents do is for dApps you launch using our product, we're able to track any kind of vulnerabilities or potential attacks, various attack vectors on our smart contracts. So there is an on-chain component, and there is an off-chain component, or testnet component, if you will.
Yeah. And have you like backtested it like against, I don't know, like library of the old hacks and try to do that kind of like what kind of performance like are you getting in this?
We can today with our training data sets, we can get close to 90% coverage. So there is a human in the loop, unfortunately, yet still, but as we continue to get more training data set, we will hopefully get closer to asymptote.
How far along is the business? Do you have any revenues?
So, Tim, as we started, we have been focusing on developer adoption and engagement, which is good, 90% MAUs. We are not generating any revenue yet. We have some early inklings.
Oh, wait, what's the business model? Are you taking money
Okay.
from developers when they ship?
Yeah, so three models we are exploring. One is, certain features in the product are behind the paywall. So that's one vector of growth. The second vector of pricing would be around, we are selling the whole stack. So combining the node infrastructure and charging for gas fees is the second approach. And the third one is collecting royalties on apps launched through our platform. So the first two seem to be more in line with what our developers are willing to engage with us in. The last one is still TBD.
All right, perfect. Thank you so much, Ram. We need to move on to the next company. So the next company presenting today is Xtreamly. They are transforming Ethereum with AI-driven liquidity graph. An example is the enhancement of DEX and AMM performance through dynamic slippage predictions. Sogol is presenting. She's a Ethereum Core Dev Fellow and just participated in Harvard's acceleration program. So please, Sogol, the stage is yours.
Thank you so much. Hi, everyone. We are Xtreamly, an AI-driven infrastructure that tackles the problem loss versus rebalancing in Ethereum pools and try to increase the volume in DEXs and AMMs. I am Sogol, CEO and founder. I am a core developer fellow at the Ethereum Foundation, author of EIPX, and graduated from RWTH Aachen in Germany, with my co-founder Matthias Ferreira, a postdoc fellow at Harvard, specialized in AI algorithms and DeFi. And he is also graduated from Princeton University. So we are very privileged to work on, to have the backers and programs and ventures that are very notable. We've closed our pre-seed round, and we are happy to open the new round in new dimensions. The problem that we're trying to solve is actually a loss for DeFi in general. So in low volatility time, high trading fees on DEXs deter swappers from swapping on decentralized exchanges, and opposite side, when volatility is so high, low fees result in loss for LPs. And actually, the main problem that market making faces is loss versus rebalancing. The money that actually made by arbitrage is exactly the money that LP is losing. And that makes the risk for centralization of block builders as high-frequency trades, which leads to capturing 60% of MEV via centralized decentralized exchange arbitrages, and as well as between 37 and 77% of the arbitrage profits just goes to the validators, where can be compensation for LP loss. So our solution is actually here to predict loss versus rebalancing in AMM pools with sort of AI models that can be designed to increase the LP incentives, reducing the slippage, and ensuring the fairer profit distribution with a new dynamic fee model. So our models are partially computational and also predictional. The computational part would be used for loss versus rebalancing and parameter calculations, as well as math predictions and pattern recognitions that allows us just adjusting the pools with AI underpinned and controlling the pool risk with the AI. So to have an idea how big the market is at the moment, so TVL in Ethereum is around $56 billion, and only AMMs owning $6 billion liquidity that we need to protect from those type of loss. To have an idea how much the problem makes for AMMs, Uniswap alone has lost $100 million after fee on top of the original LP. Only in a very short time window due to order flow toxicity market out, which was arbitrage that cost on LPs. At the moment, we have some strategic tech advisors as a go-to-market strategy, having notable names that are attesting to our technology. Besides them, our first API testers, including some of the VCs that are already investing in us, as well as other programs that we are part of, for example, MetaMask Snap, and the rest are like AMMs that are very keen to use our APIs at the moment. In general, we have 3 types of products: analytic dashboards showing all the necessary data about like sort of loss versus rebalancing, and as well as API integrations for B2B users and underpinned AMMs, and as well as MetaMask Snap. We have a few way of revenue model generation. We can have sort of a profit proportion from the LP rebate system and dynamic fee for loss versus rebalancing, API call commission from our prediction services, arbitrage signaling, and performance-based fees that just tied to AI performances. And at the end, we are going to build sort of a network effect to make a defensibility and making a flywheel network effect for our AI system by tokenizing the AI data that just are fed by 2-folded market, and also making sure that we can use that tokens for incentivizing both parties just to participate and help this network effect being efficient. Thank you very much.
All right. You have a typo. You have as a service. It says as a service.
Yes.
I think there's a typo in one of your slides.
Yes, that's correct. We're kind of B2B business.
No, there you go. Wait. Back. Right there. API's as a service.
Oh, I'm sorry. That's a typo. Good catch.
And service is spelled wrong too. So somebody was a little tired.
Good catch us.
Just thought I'd add that. So you be careful when you put your slides up.
Yes.
But I do think,
that's great. My concern is,
sorry, Tim, let me quickly jump in just to say, I think where you're building is in the right direction. Like I think LVR continues to be an unsolved problem. So in general, it's really good to see that you're trying to address this. I would also recommend looking at the TLDR conference recordings. It's happening in New York this week, and there's going to be a couple of talks.
Actually, my co-founder is presenting there as well. So unfortunately, I couldn't make it to New York, but he is there.
Okay, great. Yeah, I think it's very timely. I had one point I wanted to clarify. Is the anticipation that you intend to launch your own AMM pool like Sorella is doing, or do you anticipate for this to be more of like a Uni V3 hook, like what Alex Nesblin is working on, or do you anticipate this to be more of a product that you are selling to like individual LPs or market makers themselves?
A very good question. So I think our approach is more agnostic in general to AMM pools, kind of now tailored to Uni v4 as a hook version, but the goal is to have sort of underpinned kind of API model that can actually help dynamic fee models in different AMM pools working better, and obviously using the layer of smart contract that allows them just distribute the extra amount of profit just being distributed back to LPs. So we are not intended to have sort of a new AMM kind of thing with different design, but instead we just wanted to have sort of approach that can improve the operations by predictions and optimization of some parameters that relates to LP and also loss versus rebalancing in general.
All right.
So what does this look like in 10
unfortunately,
years?
we gotta move on. I think this would be a fantastic follow-up question to schedule a call afterwards. We have some other projects that are about to pitch as well. So the next company is Maestro. Now, the Bitcoin ecosystem is booming at the moment, yet hype gets ahead of maturity and building on Bitcoin is still hard. You need the infrastructure, but there is currently not really one. And this is why Maestro is building a complete Web3 stacks for UTXO chain and actually just secured the lead investor for their current round. So Marvin, please go ahead.
Here you go. Can you hear me? Yes. Hi, I'm Marvin. I'm the CEO of Maestro. So Maestro is a Web3 infrastructure provider, and we're building the complete Bitcoin DeFi stack. More generally, we've developed the most advanced UTXO optimized infrastructure platform for building DeFi for Bitcoin, Cardano, and Dogecoin. Our thesis is that DeFi summer is coming for Bitcoin and could potentially even eclipse Ethereum. Today, DeFi TVL on Bitcoin is around $3 billion, which is where Ethereum was back in 2020. And we all know what happened on Ethereum. They had an incredible DeFi summer and grew their ecosystem to 100 billion. And we see the emergence of incredible DeFi protocols, each with billions of dollars in TVL. And we expect the same thing to happen on Bitcoin. And potentially that could even be even bigger, right? With DeFi coming to Bitcoin and its L2s, we could see a TVL that is even surpassing the entire EVM ecosystem. We're still very early in that cycle, but the question is who will be some of the big winners of this growing new DeFi ecosystem? For us, some of the biggest winners of Ethereum's DeFi ecosystem was the infrastructure providers. These are companies like Alchemy, QuickNode, Infra. These are multi-billion-dollar businesses that till this day power 95% of all dApps and DeFi on the Ethereum ecosystem. These are strong and reliable businesses, but right now on EVMs is quite a saturated market. But looking on the Bitcoin side and more generally UTXO blockchains, you don't have that many mature infrastructure providers. In fact, Maestro is the only multi-chain infrastructure provider that really focuses on solving the problems of UTXO DeFi. This is an uncaptured market that potentially could be as big or even bigger than the EVM ecosystem. So what is Maestro? So Maestro, we've built this complete Web3 stack, really tailored to build UTXO-based DeFi. And this is particularly a need for Bitcoin at the moment. With the introductions of ordinals and runes, you have this huge rush of people building new DeFi protocols on Bitcoin. But a lot of these projects still need access to a reliable data layer and need to be able to partner with the infrastructure provider to scale and grow. And it's exactly what Maestro is building. We've built a state-of-the-art advanced set of tools optimized for UTXO blockchains, services like a blockchain indexer, transaction manager, event notifications, DeFi market feeds. And all of this is built on top of our state-of-the-art UTXO indexer technology that we've built in-house that allows you to really squeeze the best out of the UTXO model and scale your application and allow our customers to build anything from DEXs, lending protocols, wallets, NFT marketplaces. And the best part is that we're live. Our platform is proven and battle tested. We've built a high performance platform that it provides enterprise grade scalability and robustness to really supercharge any DeFi ecosystem. And we've done it not just for one chain, but for 3 chains. Our platform supports Bitcoin, Cardano, and Dogecoin, and we have dozens of partners that we're onboarding on a regular basis. In terms of tractions, we've seen huge amount of growth over the past year. We have over 350 API requests, 350 million API requests going through our platform, 800 developers sign up to our platform, building dApps, and we've grown close to 800% year over year. Maestro was created by myself, my co-founder, Vardares. We're both engineers with deep tech background, working many years in Silicon Valley in the industry in AI, biotech, and IO space. So if you're interested to learn more, please contact us and join us on the UTXO Renaissance. Thank you.
Who buys this? Who's your customer?
So it's exactly the same as Alchemy. These are developers and dApp builders. So anyone building DEXs, lending protocols, developers that need to have data access to build and deploy their apps at scale.
Maybe to understand a little bit more,
platform.
Would you be able to elaborate a little bit more on your go-to-market strategy and how are you growing and integrating and onboarding developers?
Yeah, so we have really good experience partnering with up-and-coming DeFi projects. And so we basically build APIs. And so these are API services across the board from getting access to on-chain data, be able to track transactions, and be able to deploy applications at scale. So we work very closely with projects, and then this is a self-serving kind of platform where people can log in and create their account and be able to use our platform and grow with our services.
How are you positioning yourselves to the explosion into the Bitcoin L2s? I think there's like more than 50 coming up. I think that's probably, if some of them will be successful, and that's an if. How are you, positioning yourself there? And there is like a different VM, on top, and then you have UTXO at the bottom.
Yeah, so we're the only one in the market that has that much experience with UTXO-based DeFi. So we got started on Cardano, which uses a extended UTXO architecture, which is actually very similar to the Runes and Ordinals protocols. So we've built tooling and really optimized and battle tested a lot of our services in a way that is completely compatible with Runes and Ordinals. And no one really has that. So everyone on the Bitcoin side are building this platform for the first time. These are unoptimized and kind of like unproven beta platform. We have over 2 years experience really refining all of those data pipelines. So we have by far the superior scalability and robustness. And so we want to leverage kind of our UTXO experience and expertise to really kind of come into the market as like the superior platform in terms of user experience. And then regarding L2s, then we're also partnering with upcoming L2s, and we can definitely work as well with the EVM L2s and the UTXO L2s and build like an overarching platform for both.
Fantastic. Thank you so much. So we got to move on to the next presentation. So we have Lawyered, community-driven brand protection. It is trusted by industry leaders like Louis Vuitton, Rarible, and Accenture. Lawyered is creating an opportunity for brands to incentivize users through a unique snitch-to-earn model. The 2 co-founders are both cybersecurity experts and former lawyers. So please, Igor, go ahead.
Yeah, thanks for this intro. So yeah, I'm Igor, Lawyered CEO, Techstars alumni, master of law with a decade of experience protecting different brands like Philips, Husqvarna, Plarium. And today we will talk about brand protection. So in 2023, intellectual property violation cost brands 700 billion globally. Imagine brands like Louis Vuitton, Rolex, and Nike unable to solve their brand protection issues. Insane? Yes. At the same time, Ferrari trying to find a way how to use the community power to fight with fakes, but face legal and tax obstacles. Why does it happen? Because selling products is easier than ever, but so are counterfeiting and scams. Courts, lawyers, and traditional mechanisms cannot keep up with the surge of automated online scams. So at Lawyered, we joined the fight and launched a solution that makes brand protection faster, easier to manage, and less expensive. Lawyered offers a blockchain-based solution that certifies and store brands' products, automatically detects violations online, and eliminates scammers in several seconds. We have time-tested solution trusted by Louis Vuitton, Raid Shadow Legends, and Philips. We cracked 300K ARR in 2023, and we have official partnership with eBay, Rarible, and WIPO. But still, we think it is not enough. Every day, millions of violations are generated by automated scripts backed by AI technology. Violations have become more human being look like, and it's hard for automated solution to catch new types. Accordingly to WIPO, in 70% of cases, violations were first detected by average users. AI solutions need to learn from users. So at Lawyered team, we know what we miss here. We miss the community involvement. So on the one hand, our unique snitch to earn system create the opportunity for users to detect violation faster and catch the most difficult cases created by AI. Be rewarded for protecting their favorite brands, and of course, getting passive income from data selling. On the other hand, brands do not need to launch their own token for users rewarding, facing legal, tax, and geographical obstacles. Brands need only to pay for monthly subscription, and they could incentivize people all over the world with Lawyered token. So here you could see our market. We have several types of monetization here. First of all, we have paid subscription for brands. We have brand integration and promotion. We have real user data selling for AI solutions and transaction fees inside the platform that brings us to 9 billion accessible market. A little bit about our competitors. So all our former competitors becoming our clients. We will sell them data for their AI solutions and provide an opportunity to use our snitch to earn for their clients. Token utility. So LOD token enables community-based protection, simplifying compensation and legal processes for brands. So what we have rewarding users for reporting and validating violations. We have passive income earning by users, purchasing brand protection services inside the platform, smart contract token reward transparency, and of course, incentivizing platform engagement and community growth. Our international team combines legal and tech expertise with advisors like Andrea Rota, Martin Olchik, and Juicy Cannon. We are ready to change the game. So join us in revolutionizing brand protection with community involvement. Thank you.
Very cool. Yeah, this is great. I think, tokens are ultimately tools for large-scale human coordination, and I think this is a very cool use case for it. I had two quick questions. One is, how is recourse managed after detection? Is it you guys who are actually doing any legal action, or do you leave that to the company?
Yeah, so we have two possible variations of how to use these brands. First one is to just bring all this violation that we find and validate to the brands, and they could undertake any action they want. And another one, this is the automated solution that we have inside our platform that helps brands to automatically eliminate infringing content. How it works, our system automatically generates the complaint, fulfill this data from clients, add the violation a screenshot, add the evidence of rights, other stuff, complete the package of legal documents and send it to, for example, officer on Rarible platform or to particular hosting provider. And after that, of course, take down.
Very cool. And then how do you take down something on permissionless platforms? If someone launches a token on pump.fun that is like a Louis Vuitton icon, and that's just like posted, like the metadata is on IPFS, it's posted on Solana or Ethereum. How are you able to enforce any action there?
Yeah, so if you are talking about Web3 cases, mostly we are working with platforms like Rarible or OpenSea, so they have the possibility to connect with our system, and we already connected with Rarible. We are official tech partnership. We have the official tech partnership with them, so we automatically check the violation and automatically remove from listings. So like theoretically, we are not eliminating the particular thing on the blockchain, but we are removing from listings on particular marketplace. So this is how it works in Web3. In Web2, we just take down stuff. Yeah.
Fantastic. Thank you so much. Unfortunately, we got to move on. So if you want to connect with the teams, again, there is a link in the chat where you can fill out the type form and get connected to the teams. So the next project pitching is open source economy. Now, Web3 is transforming business models for decentralized communities. So to speak, it is the operating system for large economic networks. Open source is a prime example of decentralized communities. And Lauriane will tell you more about how Web3 is revolutionizing the future of software development.
Thanks, Bastien. So if you're not a developer, you probably don't know this, but all your modern lives are just a house of cards. So one breath, and everything collapses. So everything, so your phone, your personal data, your favorite website, everything can be hacked in one instant. And why? Because 3/4 of our modern software is composed of open source code. And despite this huge success, well, open source still faces critical economic challenges. And without solid funding, well, your security is just left vulnerable. So let me allow you to present open source economy, the platform that reconciles open source principles with sustainable funding. So open source started in the 80s with the right intention of being community-led, but there was no clear business model and no investors. And then in the 2000s, we witnessed the entry of venture capitalists, and the industry shifted from community to commercialization. And that is a problem that open source developers currently face. There is no model that stays true to the community while securing enough funding. But the good news is that with Web3, well, there is no need of compromise anymore. And that is why we're launching Open Source Economy, a platform where open source projects can create a decentralized company in just one click. So we are going to provide predefined business model. We are going to attract investors with 1 token per project, mimicking the stock market. And lastly, we're going to ensure that all projects can continue to be community-based. Now, our market size. Well, open source market size was of 28 billion in 2022 and is projected to reach 100 billion in 2030. And then I encourage you to appreciate the key figures of open source market to demonstrate its potential. Now, let's have a look at our competition. So to build an open source economy, we need to excel in 3 areas. So business model, investor appeal, and community ethos. So we have Web2 peer-to-peer platform with strong established business models, community frameworks, prioritizing community ethos, and then we have some Web3 attempts. The most interesting one is T, which stand out for this attempt to blend business and open source, but they have a very strong engineering mindset overlooking the business model. And our approach, well, we're not going to reinvent the wheel, we're just assembling proven strategies for success. Now, regarding the team, well, in open source, it's very common to have a solo founder with a vision and then the community comes together around it. So I have a very a deep background in both Web 2 and Web 3 engineering, and as well in tokenomics, content creation, and community engagement. I've been the first employee of 2 successful startups. I'm very involved in the Scala open source community, and I have 2 extraordinary mentors. So Nicolas, the CTO, and a pivotal role in the success of Swissborg, and Gilles, who spent 30 years advising open source projects to bring them from engineering to successful commercialization. That is all on my side. So if you have questions, feel free to ask or reach out later. Thanks a lot.
Thank you for that. I have one question. Would you be able to elaborate a little bit more on where are you in terms of your stage of the product and roadmap at the next milestones?
Yeah. So we're very early stage. We are incorporated like a few months ago, but like the good news is that we already have a small community of engineering who are ready to build the MVP. And now, I would say the MVP needs more, maybe like 1 or 2 months of development, and then we're ready to have the MVP and go to the market. And the idea is to have first MVP, apply the strategy to acquire the community and the clients, and then after fundraise for the pre-seed.
Thank you.
Yeah. I have maybe 2 questions. Like one, like how are you thinking about, because I think you like these tokens are probably going to be linked into some kind of a revenue. Like how are you thinking about the legal framework around this? And secondly, also like how are you at the moment like thinking about the incentivization or valuing the attribution of the individual developers within the communities?
Yeah. So for legal, I would be very clear. Basically, like I was working with a lawyer in Switzerland, and in Switzerland, it's everything is fine. Like the tokens and all the tokens will be classified like as a utility token and maybe as a payment token, but it will not be classified as a security token. So all good on that. And then after to reward the people based on their contribution, but that is not me to decide. And that is not also an algorithm to decide. And usually it is done peer to peer, like where it is the community who define like the difficulty of the task and the reward associated to it.
All right, perfect. Thank you so much, Lauriane. Now we move over to Jamit, a decentralized audio hosting platform. Ike, who is presenting today, created West Africa's first digital music platform with millions of users and has helped top media tech companies like Roku in the US to capture market. Now he's bringing every voice and story on chain.
Hello, everyone. My name is Ike, founder and CEO of Jamit. Think of Jamit as an Audible for Web3. I'll tell you a story about myself. I grew up in a small town in Africa where we were never taught a day class in history. Why? Because the governments had banned them. And so I moved to San Francisco, Silicon Valley, thinking everything was going to be great, and good and all that. But guess what? Censorship also is now in the West. And now people are losing money because their books are banned and their podcasts are canceled. And guess what also? And is higher in cost to be able to even produce content today. And so how do we solve for that? We Jamit. Meet the world's first decentralized storytelling platform that gives you 100% ownership of your content. You're able to monetize globally from day one. It's censor-proof and it's cheaper for you to create content with. Guys, the market is huge right now. Podcasts and audiobooks are booming at a $30 billion market size. Our goal is to empower diverse voices globally. And we're starting this with podcasts, audiobooks, and more to come. How are we doing that? We built an all-in-one platform that includes a virtual studio, allowing everyone to create immediately, our magic producer that is powered by AI to assist them in editing their content, our rewards and token system that allows them to make money from day one, and also reward listeners for listening to other creators. Our smart contracts ensures that everyone has their own ownership 100%. We also have an originals network. This allows us to fund creators and also make sure that they create high quality content for a fraction of what our competitors pay. We've been successful with already 40 originals and more to come. Our competition They're strong, but we believe we're going to be stronger. We've made it easier for people to create with us, able to make money from day one without any boundaries. It's cheaper to host with us, and we also can distribute globally. Since we launched our Alpha on Polygon last year, we've already garnered about 160,000 downloads from 40 active creators. And we've onboarded even brands like Imagine Learning from the US, Meet Cute from the US, and Focusrite from Europe. Our business model is simple, and we think is effective. We're going to take 5% on commissions on all transactions, a $10 on our premium plans, and 30% on our advertising revenues. Our team is strong. I've led engineering in media tech companies like Roku and News Corp, and we have award-winning producers like Kachi on our team as well, a web engineer and also a mobile engineer at the moment. We are raising $800,000 right now to hire a staff team and be able to grow us to 1 million active users and onboard the creators as well. We have already raised from CV Labs, Microtraction, The Battery, and Polygon. We hope you join us to onboard the next generation of storytellers. Thank you very much.
I like it. It's a noble mission. I think we need free speech. What can I do all this on unstoppable domains? Can't I just do this stuff? Or are you just making it easier for somebody who is a writer or a musician?
So we're making it easier for everyone who has to create anything in terms of content. In terms of podcasts, audiobooks, we are starting with that first. We're also allowing people to be able to post blogs also on our platform and allow them to all be stored on chain. Unstoppable Domains doesn't do that. They only handle more of the domain part of things in terms of your address on chain, but they do not handle more of your contents, your contracts. Every single podcast created on Jamit right now is a smart contract. And so you can support them by sending ERC tokens, cryptocurrencies directly to them. So we are able to avoid any form of friction when it comes to, oh, Stripe is not going to accept you, or let's say your country has banned you from being accepted on radio stations, etc. You can still have your content on chain using Jamit.
Very cool. And can you share where you've seen the most organic traction around genres, geographies, length? Like, I'm curious where you're seeing most organic pull today.
So for us on the business side of things, we've seen more traction come from the US. We've had more companies from the US contact us to create content for them because it's cheaper, and also we're able to host it at a cheaper price. We save them about 80% of the cost in terms of hosting and production fees compared to wherever they pay. And then on the other side, more people who are scared of like political, podcasts, and, they talk about things that they don't want to say or they don't want to be canceled. We've seen more of them come from the Europe areas and Africa area as well. So in total, we have about 200 of them who have actually onboarded on our platform on podcasts. And we have about 50 audiobook narrators who are creating now, and we are about to unleash them this summer on Base as well.
Very cool.
Thank you.
Do you are you starting to get any kind of resistance from any governments? I guess that comes when you're much bigger.
Yes, we already got one. We launched a podcast which was about a political figure, and we did get a letter and some tweets, and things like the threats that come with that. But we are safe, and the team is safe, and nothing has happened yet. But we've gotten a question of us taking down something, and we just told them we can't take it down anymore because the host put it on chain, and we can't do that. And what she said was factual, so we could not even do anything about it. So we did protect her, and we've had some who release things anonymously, and they talk about it, and we allow them to speak out so far that whatever they're saying is true, and we do have a credibility score that allows people to score them if what they're saying are factual or not, to be able to make sure that false statements are not made, or second lies are not done, or white lies are not put out there.
All right, perfect. Thank you so much. Now we actually move over to the very last, but obviously not least, of the startup pitches. So we will have Shamba Records, that is revolutionizing agriculture across Africa. Combining over 10 years of experience at top African telcos with a proven track record, leading multiple tech startups, George is a powerhouse in African innovation. He brings this unique blend of corporate expertise and entrepreneurial agility to Shamba Records and is going to tell you more in a second what Shamba Records exactly does.
Perfect. I hope you can be able to see my screen.
Yes. Yeah, it's not. Yeah, now it's perfect.
Great. So thank you, Bastian. So hi, my name is George Mena, and I'm the CEO and the co-founder of Shamba Records. I know many of us in this call have been rejected before, either by a girlfriend or a boyfriend. And the feeling that comes afterwards, it's a feeling of hopelessness. But can you imagine more than 800 million people in Africa, every day when they apply for credit, they get rejected. Reason being, it's because they don't have a credit score. And banks and any other traditional forms of financial institutions require a credit score to be able to lend to farmers or to other people. That means farmers cannot be able to grow their business, they cannot be able to feed their families, as well as they cannot be able to afford the basic goods. And for us as Shamba Records, we're changing this. We're providing a blockchain-powered solution that's able to track data from the production level to the aggregation, all the way to the distribution. And when we do that, we're able to automate credit scoring for the farmers. We're able to provide credit to the farmers, as well as we're able to provide a safe and secure wallet to the farmers. And so far, our solution has been proven to be one of the most efficient tools, whereby we're able to trace goods from the farm to the shelf, as well as we've been able to create a powerful ecosystem of more than 30,000 users on our platform. And we run a very perfect and good business model, whereby we have more than 3 sources of income. The first one being B2B, whereby we work with exporters, we work with corporates, and we charge an installation fee. On the other hand, we have B2C, whereby we have monthly farmer subscribers. We charge them $1 on a monthly basis. And again, we have the transaction fees, whereby we earn between 2 to 3%. It's our goal as a company to be able to attain and get the market leadership in Africa. And we hope to get a third of the market. And by so far, we have been able to make inroads, whereby we have more than 30,000 users on our platform. And we have been able to make more than 200K in terms of annual revenue for the last 2 years. And for us to be able to attain market leadership, we need a capital injection of $1.5 million. This will go towards improving our offering, as well as will go towards increasing the number of farmers, as well as the users and aggregators that we have on our platform. Shamba Records is led by a very vibrant and talented team. More than 11 people working full-time on the company, led by me with over 10 years of experience, both in corporate as well as in the tech world. And again, we're not doing this alone. We are working with trusted partners from financial institutions, from private to public institutions, as well as we are working with enabling partners such as CV Labs. It's our goal and hope that you join us on this journey, whereby we aim to impact more than 1 million farmers in the next 2 years. Thank you.
So this market size doesn't seem particularly large for a venture investment. What happens in 5 years or 10 years? Do you start having other services you can provide? What does this thing look like?
So, Shamba Records, how we built, it's a package of multiple products, whereby we have been able to embed in. So there's the credit, the financing part. Besides the financing part, we have been able to embed also insurance, whereby we can be able to insure farmers from livestock. You see. Besides that, we are adding also the element of carbon credit, whereby we want the emissions that the farmers are producing, that the farmers can be able to earn from those incentives. Besides that, because we are collecting all this data, we can be able to monetize this data to input producers as well as to exporters. And again, remember, whatever is produced from this part in Africa, most of it is for the export market, from coffee all the way to the tea. So again, it's not just an African solution. but also it's a solution that can be able to serve globally as well.
Maybe to understand just a little bit more, what does the market look like in terms of competition, and how are you differentiating yourself?
Yeah, perfect. Yes, we have right now we have like 5 main direct competitors. Actually, my previous company, they have rolled out a similar solution. And we have other 4 others, and also MasterCard is also looking into this space, whereby they funded a couple of companies. We're trying to do credit scoring on the farmer side. So we have FarmDrive, we have Safaricom, and we have other bigger global companies partnering with other local companies as well.
All right, thank you very much. So thanks, George. A big thank you to our amazing juries for asking such interesting and challenging questions, and also a big thank you to our audience for tuning in and for your interest in our projects. As a very last action point for today, we also want to put it close to you that we have our CV Summit lined up for October, specifically October 1st and 2nd here in Zug. So it's a 2-day conference where you will engage with the amazing Crypto Valley and European ecosystem, but also beyond. And it will also be the period where our 7th acceleration batch is kicking off. So also look forward to meet amazing startups. On that note, we promised you will be done in 60 to 75 minutes, and I think we're right in between. So yeah, it was a pleasure having you, and we're looking forward to our next engagement.
Fantastic. Thank you so much.
Great. Thank you so much. That was great.